Well. It's Thursday. That means Gervonta must have ducked somebody. Because every day of the week, there's somebody new. The newest person Gervonta Davis has ducked this week is Edwin De Los Santos, as he turned down a fight Gervonta turned down a fight with Edwin De Los Santos to fight Lamont Roach. Let's talk about that in this video. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 135-pound division, I think, as Gervonta Davis is hopefully preparing to fight somebody this year, seeing as it is right now very close to October 1st. And that means you have October, November, and December. That is 3 months times 4 weeks. That is 12 weeks. If we do not know who Gervonta Davis is going to fight within the next few weeks, then Gervonta Davis is not going to fight this year. I personally think that is a very bad thing to take place, as Gervonta Davis is a very active fighter. So I like the idea that he will fight Lamont Roach or anybody else this year. However, despite so many people, Lomachenko, Shakur'S Stevenson, Baranicek being unavailable apparently, Rayo being unavailable, Pitbull Cruz losing, Keyshawn Davis not being ready, Andy Cruz not being ready, you would think that people would look and say, hey, man, well, there's a lot of people not trying to fight Gervonta, so hey, man, fight whoever you can. But no. Here comes the Gervonta Davis is ducking somebody talk, even though we don't even know who he's fighting yet. So Edwin De Los Santos comes out and says his trainer says that they may be fighting or want to fight Frank Martin on an undercard. And that the reason that they want to fight Frank Martin is because they really wanted to fight Gervonta, but Gervonta decided to fight Lamont Roach instead. Okay, people are now calling that a duck of Edwin De Los Santos. Let me just make sure that I understand this correctly. The last time that I saw Edwin De Los Santos in a ring, Edwin De Los Santos lost a fight. Last time I saw Edwin De Los Santos in a ring, I do believe he lost a fight to Shakur'S Stevenson. I do not think, and I may be wrong, correct me in the comment section, that Edwin De Los Santos has fought since then. So if Edwin De Los Santos has not fought that since then, and even if he has, but he has actually lost to Shakur'S Stevenson, then why would a fight between a defeated Edwin De Los Santos be better than a reigning world champion in Lamont Roach? I have no idea. But I will tell you that I've heard some interesting arguments about Gervonta and how Gervonta wants to bring people up so they can have an advantage, or he wants people to stay at the weight that he's actually fighting at so he can drain them. I want you to listen to this absolutely ludicrous logic that is being spit by even more ludicrous people. That Gervonta Davis is danged if he does, danged if he doesn't. If somebody comes up in weight to fight him, to challenge him, like boxers do all the time, like Devin Haney did when Devin moved up to fight Regis Prograis. And, like Shakur did when Shakur left 126 and moved up to fight Oscar Valdez and Jamel Herring. Moving up in weight like so many other people do. But no, Lamont Roach can't move up in weight. Even though his last fight, I do believe, he won a world championship. Gervonta's not supposed to give him the shot. He's supposed to give the shot to the guy that just lost a fight. Let me guarantee you the same people that believe this bunk would be blasting Gervonta Davis if Gervonta Davis fought Edwin De Los Santos and not Lamont Roach. Because the argument immediately would change to he's just coming off of a loss. Why would you be fighting Edwin De Los Santos? Shouldn't you be fighting somebody else? Because that's the argument that these people have with Gervonta Davis. No fight that he has is good. You will never hear these guys ever say a fight that he has is good. A matchup heading into it is good. And even if in the outside chance that it was good, if he fights him and knocks him out, Gervonta Davis was losing every round the entire fight. These guys are jokes, okay? They start with the answer, and the answer is that Gervonta is bad and Gervonta is wrong. Even though there's absolutely nobody for him to fight in that division, as soon as one guy who, again, was coming off a loss says that he wanted to fight him, but he chose to fight Lamont Roach instead. Well, hold on, man. The Lamont Roach fight is not even announced yet. So how do we even know that he's really fighting Lamont Roach? I wouldn't be surprised if we turn around and he's not fighting Lamont Roach. But it doesn't matter because whoever it winds up that he is fighting, that's not going to be good because it's never good. Everything Devin Haney does is good. Any fight that he has is good. It's legacy. It's resume. When people talk about how great Devin's resume is, look at the people that are named. Look at the people that are named. Guys that had already lost to other people. And guys that if Gervonta Davis was trying to fight, the same people would complain about it. Meanwhile, Devin is actually the one that is weight bullying people. Literally putting on 25 pounds. But Gervonta Davis is a problem because Gervonta Davis says, hey, if you want to fight me, fight in my weight class. I absolutely listen to this buffoon. I'm sorry, man. I listened to this buffoon because he got on my nerves. I've literally listened to a person say Gervonta Davis has earned the right because of the money that he brings in, because of his status. He's earned the right to deplete people. He's earned the right to manipulate people. Dummy, that's a weight class. What do you mean? Boxing has been around they've had weight classes for 200 years. It's not depleting people. He's at 135. If you want to fight a guy at 135, you fight a guy at 135. If you want to fight a guy at 147, then you weigh 147. That's the rules of boxing, bro. Every fighter is depleting themselves if they can't naturally walk around at that weight. That's a natural byproduct of the sport. That's not Gervonta's decision. These dudes are buffoons who are desperately trying to run Gervonta Davis' name in the mud at any time. It's just ridiculous. Gervonta Davis is danged if he does, danged if he doesn't. If he fights Ryan Garcia and is a 4K, if he won't fight Ryan Garcia, that's because he's ducking Ryan Garcia. But if he does fight Ryan Garcia, that's because Ryan Garcia isn't any good. And trust me, if Ryan Garcia fight, I don't have to trust me because it happened. Ryan Garcia then fights Devin Haney, all of a sudden he's the best thing in the world again. Until Devin loses, which then he's the biggest cheater in the world. Bro, you guys are terrible, man. You guys are just flat out terrible. I mean, not terrible people, just terrible at this stuff you're trying to do. Gervonta Davis has to fight somebody. Okay? Lamont Roach is a world champion. Gervonta Davis is a 130-pound fighter, and Lamont Roach is actually a bigger person than he is. Yeah, Lamont Roach is bigger than Gervonta. You've literally never seen Gervonta ever fight anybody that was bigger than he was bigger than, with the exception of maybe Isaac Cruz. But they actually blame Gervonta Davis for being small and saying, hey, man, you're just it's your fault that you're only 5'4" and walk around, and really are a 130-pounder. And you try to stay there. But you won't move up to the other people that ain't even in your weight class. See, you're ducking. These people have literally introduced the idea that a man sitting in a weight class, fighting his contemporaries in his weight class, is ducking people that ain't even in his weight class. All to make Devi Poo feel better. Y'all are ridiculous, bro. And I am absolutely enjoying watching y'all flip-flop around the bottom of the boat when y'all got snatched out that water of delusion, that ocean of delusion you were swimming in. And watch you flop around on the wood panels of this boat of hard, cold facts and karma has been quite interesting. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.